Friends, without the Western media, without its lies, its deflections, its airbrushing of the depraved truth, Israel's genocide in Gaza would not have been possible. Through no crime in history, no crime has been so confessed to by its perpetrators, so unapologetically, so shamelessly, so proudly. From the very start, Israel's leaders, they declared that Gaza's civilians were human animals, that an entire nation out there was responsible. As the president of Israel declared, the essentials of life would be cut off, that Gaza would be reduced to a city of tents. They made clear over and over again they were going to wipe Gaza from the face of the earth and wage war against its people. There was no better predictor of what Israel would do to the Palestinian people than what they told the world they would do over and over and over again. And yet, with courageous exceptions, the Western media conspired to suppress Israel's genocidal intent while smearing the few with a platform who spoke out as dangerous, hateful extremists, turning the world upside down. That's what they did, and they are complicit in every death and every maiming. They did not even try to pretend that they believed Palestinian life had even the smallest fraction of the worth of an Israeli life or a Western life. They deferred to Israeli lies. They airbrushed atrocities. They stripped away all context and started the clock on the 7th of October. They erased Palestinian voices systematically. They muddied the waters. They made false equivalencies. We could go on. Again, we must say it loudly. Without the Western media, this genocide would never have been possible. And look at what they normalized. The destruction of hospitals, the slaughter of medics, the annihilation of civilian infrastructure, the mass butchery of children, the deliberate starvation of an entire people, the torture and rape of Palestinian hostages. But meanwhile, the journalists of Gaza, the lions of the world's press back, the bravest journalists the world have ever seen, who've ever walked the face of this earth, they risked their lives every single day, knowing that every last day, every minute, every second could be their last, not just for them, but for their children and their families, often exterminated alongside them. And yet, in the biggest massacre of journalists in the history of our species, the vast majority of Western journalists couldn't even utter a sentence of solidarity with their colleagues as they were butchered. How dare they? Shame on them. Shame on them forever. And just finally, we must hold all of the guilty men and women to account. In our political elites and our media elites, there are no excuses. There is nowhere to hide. You cannot claim you did not know what was really happening in the first live stream genocide in history. We cannot let them get away with it. This crime is too extreme, too depraved, too shameless. If we do, it won't just be the ruin of the Palestinian people, but the ruin for human civilization as well. Free Palestine!